Hi and happy Friday. I'm Jenny from Metamorphit, and this is my Come to Jesus Friday vlog. I decided to do my vlog outside today. It's kind of windy, so you're going to see my hair blowing around everywhere. But I live in Florida, and we actually had a little bit of a cold front come through yesterday. Brought a lot of much needed rain. And so the weather today is really quite nice, and it's very peaceful to be outside. As you can see behind me, I live on a nice little cypress lake, and it's just a really nice, peaceful area, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today, is just being nice to yourself, being nice to other people, in light of what has been happening, in our society these past week, past decade. People really, I think, have kind of lost touch with what it means to be nice. And I talked a little bit last week about Master Jedi Yoda, and if you're a fan of Star Wars, and even if you're not, I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of the Force, and the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. And a Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, and never for attack. The light side of the Force, which throughout the movies, and if you've read any of the books, and even if you haven't, it's simply referred to as the Force. And that part of the Force, again, the light side of the Force, is aligned with honesty and compassion and mercy and self-sacrifice and other positive feeling emotions. The dark side of the Force, again, think Darth Vader, the Sith Lords. The dark side is anger, fear, aggression, and you can very easily let the dark side consume you. And if you let the dark side consume you, it can forever, and this is, quotes from Star Wars, yeah, I'm a geek, but it can forever dominate your destiny. The dark side is quicker, it's easier, it's more seductive. It can take a lot of patience to use the Force, the light side, to be good and kind. So I have 5 tips that I'm going to give you today about being nice, how to be nice to yourself and to other people. Tip 1 is admit that you're not perfect. But with admitting that you're not perfect, be positive. Okay, be positive in that response. So I'll be the first to say it. I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. I am not the perfect mother. I am not the perfect wife. I am not the perfect daughter. I am not the perfect sister. Sometimes I can be a jerk, to be honest. I can be a jerk. Sometimes I'm inconsiderate. Oftentimes, unfortunately, I can be selfish, and I put the needs of myself before the needs of other people. And I usually don't realize that I've been those things, that I've been kind of a jerk, or that I've been inconsiderate until later. And usually when I realize that I have been those things, I do try to make it right, and I apologize, and I admit that I was wrong. So try, if you can, to recall an instance where recently you might have been a jerk, that you might have been inconsiderate, and think about how you could have acted differently. How could you have handled that situation differently? Okay, that's a very important first step in trying to learn to be kind and compassionate. Step 2 is place yourself in the shoes of other people, okay, but be humble when you're doing it. This is the key, I really think, to being considerate. Consider the feelings of others, the needs of others, the wants of others, trying to see things from their perspective. Okay, try to think what they might be going through, what you'd want to do if you were in their situation. Okay, this isn't always easy, not easy at all, but it does get easier with practice. And even if you're not correct in what you're assuming, because we all know what happens when we assume, right? The assumptions that you're making, you're at least putting forth the effort. You're trying to understand what that person might be going through. Okay, so it's important that you're making the effort. Step 3 is to act with compassion and kindness. Okay? If someone else is suffering, you might not even know that they're suffering, but if someone else is suffering, you can try to ease their suffering in some way. Okay? It could be something as simple as a smile, okay? A little wave. I ran into a friend that I hadn't seen in quite some time at my kid's school yesterday, and I gave her a big hug, and we started to chat, and she confided that she had been going through some rough times. I had no idea that these things were happening to her, but I showed her some compassion and some kindness, and she publicly thanked me for that, and it made her feel good. And it doesn't take a lot to try to show someone else a little bit of kindness. Okay? You can also go out of your way to be kind to someone. Okay? You can open the door for someone. You can let another person in front of you in traffic, and I do that a lot. I'm always this person that's, go ahead, go ahead. What is that? Like an extra 5 seconds? I mean, come on. So I do that a lot. Little tiny acts of compassion and kindness will make a huge difference. Okay, think about how you feel when someone lets you in front of them in traffic. It's like, wow, you give a little wave, thank you. 5 seconds, that's it. Okay, so step 4 is practice, practice, practice. My mom told my kids this little joke when we went to New York City. She asked them, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. Okay, so in order to become a kind and compassionate person, to be nice, you have to practice being nice. Okay, old habits die hard. Okay, if you're used to being a Grinch and mean and nasty and a jerk all the time, it's gonna be difficult, okay, to start suddenly trying to make yourself a nicer person. Old habits die hard. So you need to keep in the forefront of your consciousness being nice, going out of your way to be nice. Every time you talk to someone, every time you email someone, see someone on the street, send someone a message through Facebook, respond to a Facebook post or a tweet or something, make that an opportunity to be considerate. Okay, I've seen an awful lot of negativity this week on Facebook through some of the pages that I follow for inspiration for health and fitness. There's been a lot of negative comments out there to these people that are trying to do nothing but pay it forward. And that was kind of the whole point of me starting my own Facebook page, was to try to pay it forward. I had some really, really nice people help me on my journey, and I wanted to try to pay it forward to help some other people. Okay, being kind and compassionate, putting myself in the shoes of other people that might be where I was 4 years ago. And then the last step is to do 5 little things every day. Okay? As a way to practice those other 4 steps, do 5 little things every day that are kind and considerate. It doesn't matter what those 5 little things are. Maybe you're going to cook something for a family member. You could tidy up your room a little bit. Okay? Maybe your husband's socks that are all over the floor that you have sworn to him up and down, you are never going to pick those socks up. Pick them up. Okay? Be kind. Sending a thank you note to, your aunts for sending your kids a Christmas gift. Lending a hand to someone who might be trying to put up a swing next door for their kids. Okay? Being there to listen to someone else's problems. Okay? Again, you can put yourself in their shoes at that same time. Help someone unload groceries from their car. Open the door for someone. Simple, simple things. But try to do 5 little things a day. And you can also try to help the community as a whole. Get out and volunteer. Okay, I have some wonderful, wonderful organizations in my area that I hope to be able to volunteer with my children here in the very near future. We have the Animal Society, we have Metropolitan Ministries, we have the Clean Up the Street and Clean Up the Beach, and different organizations where we can try to pay it forward to the community. Okay, I'm sure that you could think of 1,000 little things that you could do to be nice and to pay it forward. I have had, like I've mentioned before, some wonderful people in my life that have been very instrumental in helping me get to the point that I'm at today. And even now, I still have people that are continuing to help me. I have my local cycle studio that has agreed to mentor me through my journey of learning to become the best cycle instructor I can. I have a blog mentor that is helping me, with her honesty about, how I've set up my blog, posts that I might write, so people, it's not a competition. Okay, this is not a competition. Do what you can to help other people. Okay, pay it forward a little bit. Okay, so basically, that's my spiel for today. Be nice. Okay, pay it forward, and it will come back to you. So have a great day. The wind's going to knock me over here in a bit. So have a Merry Christmas. I won't speak to you before then. So be safe, be nice, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.